Today is all about shrimp and prawns. I'm gonna show you 3 different ways to deep fry prawns and shrimp at home. But the first thing we're gonna do is go off to a tempura specialist to learn a thing or two before coming back here in the studio and making our own versions of it. So for this episode of Erwan Cooks, we actually don't have to go too far. We are staying in Metro Manila, and of course there are tons of choices of where we can go to taste authentic Japanese tempura. But I know of one place called Tenya who has done it extremely consistently over the years. So we're currently heading there, and I am famished.
Tenya started in the 80s to the late 80s, and it started with the founder's goal to provide tempura with just a 500 yen coin. Back then, tempura was considered a very luxurious meal, and it was the founder's idea to bring tempura to the masses. So he invented the tempura donburi, and he scaled that from one store to now having over 200 stores in Tokyo.
Tempura is anything coated with butter.
Correct.
So I'll show you how to cook the tempura. So first step is to drop it to the butter. Diretso na siya sa oil, sa conveyor. It's all about yung temperature ng oil.
Yeah.
So yung oil control po niya dapat is around 175 to 180. And then you have to push it on the conveyor.
And then it goes.
So same time lang po siya. 80 seconds lagi, tapos 40 seconds draining.
Okay. I absolutely love places who specialize in one thing, and doing that at scale at a really high quality is always really complicated. It's great to see that efficiency, but also that commitment to making great quality food. I swear, Lemon-Dou and a bowl of tempura. Match made in heaven. The 3 snacks or dishes that we will be making today are all paired with different variants of Lemon-Dou. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite things to drink, and each time I have a party at home or I'm hosting, I always have some Lemon-Dou ready because it's just something that's so easy to have with food. Here we have it in 3 different variants: honey lemon, signature lemon, and devil lemon. All of them are slightly different in terms of flavor, from something that's a bit sweeter, something that's a bit more bitter, something that's a bit more sour, depending on what you like to eat and depending on the snacks or the food that you're eating them with. So Ebi Fry, when you think about Japanese fried shrimp, a lot of the times people think Ebi Fry is also a type of tempura. It's not. Ebi Fry is closer to a katsu in terms of the processes and how you make them, and that's why you're going to be using some panko breadcrumbs. But it's very different. An Ebi Fry and a tempura is very different, which is why I wanted to show you those 2 variants today. So the first thing we want to do is our tartar sauce. And just to kind of remove that oniony bite, we're going to go ahead and put this in some really cold water for about 10 minutes. Next, grab some hard-boiled eggs, and we're just going to go ahead and chop that as well. So the first thing you want to do is put this here. We're gonna make sure to season our shrimp with some salt. Tartar sauce, mayonnaise, hard-boiled egg, black pepper, pinch of salt, sweet pickles, and then you can adjust this with a little bit of lemon juice. Ebi Fry is something that's a bit more robust in flavor. It has a thicker kind of like outer shell. It retains a little more oil. It has more texture to it. So in my head, I need to pair it with something with just as much character. So that's why I think the Lemon-Dou Devil Lemon is perfect for this. When it comes to pairing food and alcohol, it really comes down to just personal preference. So I think that this is a match made in heaven. So Ebi Fry into our tartare sauce. If you want to make your tartare kind of like looser and thinner, you can definitely kind of mince your onions more if you want, but I like it chunky because I love kind of like the flavor of raw onions. That tiger prawn is perfectly cooked. That double coating, so key, and kind of giving us that perfect Ebi Fry flavor. Yum. So quick reminder, if you go to a proper, authentic Japanese restaurant and ask for tempura, this is not what you're gonna get. But I've seen a lot of people expecting this in a Japanese restaurant. If you want this, ask for Ebi Fry. If you want tempura, ask for the next one we're about to show you how to make. First thing you want to do is get some black tiger prawns. We're going to use this both for our Ebi Fry and our traditional tempura. Take them off, make sure to keep those heads. You can always use them for something else later. Once you have a clean shrimp, you can go ahead and make really small incisions. Devein the top. Remove that intestine or poop track. The key to a really, really good tempura is a light batter, and to be able to achieve that is to get a really, really cold batter. So as we saw in Tenya, their batter was extremely cold, then he dipped it once, I think he dipped it twice, and then he went straight into the oil. Let's make that batter first. Super simple, 1 bowl, 1 egg. Martin bought the most expensive soda water for this recipe, so I'm gonna enjoy it for a little bit first. Don't use this for this recipe. There are cheaper soda waters out there. 1 cup of that. You know, technically you could probably use Lemon-Dou for this as well. Then we're going in with 1 cup of all-purpose flour and then mix that in. So potato starch, well coated. Shake it off just like Taylor Swift. Then we're gonna go into our batter, out, shake, into the batter, out, and into the oil, just like he did. Let's give this a try. Tenya was nice enough to give us a bottle of the sauce, but we're also gonna put a recipe in the bottom if you wanna make your own tempura sauce at home. I'll be so happy just eating tempura all day long. I mean, this is perfect, and with the Lemon-Dou, you get kind of, obviously, there's some oiliness in your mouth, and the lemon, the citrus just really cuts through all that. Ganpai, so good. We are deviating completely from more traditional Japanese recipes, and we are making now a modern favorite, but I think it will be perfect with our last Lemon-Dou variant, which is our honey lemon. So we're gonna be making some bang bang shrimp because it's recently became extremely popular on TikTok and on social media, and that's why we're making it. Very simple to actually do it. You need to marinate your shrimp. So we're not using some black tiger prawns on this one. We're just using some regular shrimp. These have been cleaned and deveined. Usually you would put that with some buttermilk, but the easiest way to do it is to mix in your milk with some vinegar and then let it sit for 10 minutes, which is great because that's how long we need the shrimp to actually sit in here as well. This step will just kind of make them a little more tender. Quick little sauce, nothing complicated or complex here. literally just some Japanese mayo. Then we have some sweet Thai chili sauce. And then to kick it up a notch even further, some sriracha. Last little step, dredging flour. I've got some cornstarch, some black pepper, and we're gonna season that with a bit of salt as well. All we gotta do now is toss everything together. So we get our hot shrimp, nice and crispy, our sauce, toss all that together. I had some extra tempura flakes left, spring onions. The beauty of this dish is if you're a fan of shrimp cocktail, it's basically very similar. So if you're like mayonnaise fiend, you will love that. So the shrimp get tender because of the milk. You get that extra crispy coating on the shrimp that obviously doesn't become crispy anymore when you toss it with the sauce that we have, but it just coats it really nicely and kind of clings on to that crispiness. And because it has that really nice chili, mayo, creamy flavor, that with the honey lemon, it's very citrus forward, but with a beautiful kind of round honey flavor. Perfect match. So the three dishes today were to show you that you can make beautiful snacks using prawns or shrimps in different ways. We showed you 3 different techniques on how you can fry shrimps at home so that in case you have people coming over and you happen to have some fresh shrimp or some shrimp in the freezer that you want to use, these dishes are paired perfectly with Lemon-Dou. Ganpai. Cheers.